Another week. Proud of our kids for Sunday. Great basketball game between two really good teams, and proud of our fans again that were there. The 8,800 that produced a tremendous atmosphere. And but we're on to the next one, and we got another great opponent, well-coached team in Georgia coming in. Joni's done a great job since taking over that program, and we played really well over there last year. I mean, really well. Maybe one of our better games of the year. Played them, I think, on New Year's Eve, and we just played really well. It's best we played against Georgia in my time going against them. That goes back even to my Arkansas days. Stegman Coliseum is not a place where I've had a lot of success until last year, so was proud of our effort a year ago. If I remember right, T really carried us early. Seemed like we, Rowe and Blair were building a house with the bricks that they were laying, and but team got a lot of offensive boards, stick backs, and then Blair and Rowe ended up coming on and making shots after that first quarter. So they played us a lot of zone, and but we scored, I think, 82, 83 points, and played really, really well on the road, like I said. So they're a year older and a year wiser, and they've added a 6'6" kid, a transfer, and so they've got someone inside that can give, that can play and have some size to go against T. So should be a really good matchup. I think guard play is going to be extremely important in this ball game, and I think just like Sunday, I think your guards, you've got to win with guard play. Your guards have got to be good every day. It doesn't matter what size you got no chance. I mean, you win in the Southeastern Conference with guard play. It gives you a chance when you have size to win that championship, and we've been fortunate to have both here in the last few years. So should be a great challenge. Game's at 8. It's a little late, but we'll be ready.
Okay, we'll start here on the front with Al.
Just two-part. The first one is based off of something that you said in your opening. Best you played against Georgia, even the game that you held them to 38 here.
Did we hold them to 38 here?
Was it 50?
Oh yeah, it was 50. It was 50-38. Well, defensively, obviously, that was a much better game. They were ranked number 11 in the country, and we were ranked number 311 at the time. So yeah, that was one of those 5 we won that first year that we weren't supposed to win, and we held them to 5 baskets in the second half that night. So from a defensive standpoint, you're absolutely right. But it is the best we've certainly played in Stegman. I mean, it's been really hard over there. It's been, the year before we lost over there 47-43, and it was a nightmare. Ugh, awful.
So the primetime question, Jordan getting co-SEC Player of the Year. Just can you talk about her play and how you touched on it Sunday, but just how she's really kind of coming into her own and just playing such a big part of the team?
Yeah, absolutely. Jordan is playing at a very high level, shooting 53% from the field. I compare her and Rashonda's stats this time last year. She's averaging 2.5 points more, I think, shooting at 53 versus 41. She gets 3.6 rebounds, but she hasn't, Rowe stretched it a little bit and shot the 3 a little bit more, but she's just had a great week. 26 at Arkansas, and Kentucky she had 17, and so she had a big time week, and I knew she'd have a chance to be Player of the Week. Again, just the kid's putting in the time. To be honest with you, she's reaping the benefits of what she's sown. She works hard in practice. She's had a great attitude in practice. She's really, playing with a lot of energy every day, and she's really fun to coach. I mean, I've really enjoyed her time here, and she's pretty solid. She's just pretty even-keeled when it all said and done. So, and she's another point guard on the floor, really. She played point in high school. She's got that kind of mentality. She can make some really good passes, and I think her teammates enjoy playing with her.
We'll stay on the front with Steve.
Chloe, earlier in the season, you were doing a good job kind of as a spot-up shooter, but you look a lot more comfortable putting the ball on the floor, distributing in, kind of getting to the basket. What do you attribute that to?
I think, well, at the moment my shot's not falling, so I need to find other ways to help the team get on the board or, do whatever I can. So I need to get in the gym, be more consistent shooting the ball, because that's what my team needs. But when that's not falling, I need to find other ways to help us out.
Go to the back with Robbie.
Vic, to Steve's point, Chloe's one of the girls you rely on heavily in minutes. What's she doing so well that keeps her on the floor along with Jordan and Anriel too?
Yeah, I think she's averaging more minutes than anybody right now. She's averaging 12 points, 4.5 rebounds, and the biggest thing is she's not hurting us. I mean, that was my message to Blair all those years, baby. I can't play if you turn the ball over. Don't matter how good you shoot it. And I think for her, she's not hurting us, and she commands your respect. People are going to go out there and guard her on the perimeter. I love the fact that she's smart enough to know that, if my shot's not falling and they're still coming out here to chase me, I'm going to take them off the bounce, because that's what you do. And it's not from her not being in the gym. She's in the gym as much, if not more, than anybody shooting. So she's, I don't think it's her shot not falling. I think people are guarding her a little tougher. But at the same time, not just settling. She's not settling. And so I think right now she's playing at a high level. She allows us to play through her. And at the same time, she's not hurting me on defense, and she can turn the ball over. Well, anybody that knows me and wants to play for me, those are two things you better do if you want to get on the floor. It's hard for me to play if you hurt me on defense and you turn the ball over. And she's not doing those things.
Tyler.
Chloe, you guys both mentioned that your shot might not be falling at the moment. I know shooters can get a little frustrated if they're in a slump. I'm not saying you're in a slump, but when the shot's not falling, I know how shooters can get. When you're doing all the other things that Coach said, rebounding, not turning it over, how much easier is it to forget about the fact that your shot's not falling when you're doing those things?
I mean, it is very hard, but I have great coaches behind me and teammates that, even if I don't take an open shot, they'll be on me to take it. You've got the best rebounders in the country, so, if I miss that, 9 times out of 10, they're going to get the rebound and the stick back anyway. So I think it's just, staying after it and trying to stay confident in myself, because they're going to fall one day, and if not, it doesn't matter, because they're going to clean it up for me. And
Steve.
Anriel, watching you in person, it's a little different deal than on television. There's a lot of verbal stuff that goes on with you. You almost take every possession personally, offensively and defensively. How would you kind of describe that passion on the floor from yourself?
You said verbally? I think I talk a lot on the floor. I communicate with my teammates, of course, on defense. I think last game I may have been more passionate as far as like celebration wise, but I don't really understand the question. But I understand you said that I'm more verbal.
Well, I'll clarify.
Okay.
Sometimes it seems like it becomes a personal mission for you to win on both ends of the floor against your mark. Like if you're defending somebody, they're defending you. And when you win that one-on-one game, I won't say it's trash talk, but you kind of get a little verbal when you get a win. And so
You think so? Do I?
Well, you did against Kentucky.
I don't know. I was just so into the game. I'm not sure. Sorry.
Coach, can you help
I don't
her out?
recall.
Well, I think you're right. I think she understands the one-on-one battles that you have to win throughout the course of the game, and she's learning in a very short period of time the importance of winning that battle when you're on defense. And she's lost some battles, and I remind her of those. And when she wins a battle, she's probably really excited that she's finally winning one. And so I think that's part of it. But obviously, I think the other piece, it's real noticeable when you have someone like Jazz out there who's involved in so many different energy plays, and an Anriel who's involved in almost all the energy plays. Jordan, same thing. I mean, those kids are real noticeable by how energetic and how hard and how fast they play. It's really evident, and I think your attention goes to those kids. And you know, again, I think for Anriel, it's you know, our challenge has been to teach her to change her game in a really short period of time, from standpoint of the technique defensively that it takes to play here. And so when she does finally get one right, she's probably pretty excited about it.
What he said.
Question for each of the players. The start of the Louisiana Lafayette game, the Texas game, and obviously most recently Sunday's game. There were stretches in each of those games where you guys came out and were like, you know, hot knife through butter. You were just really focused, playing really intensely on both ends of the court. How long of a stretch do you think that you guys have played like that in the course of the games that you've played, and what do you need to do to extend that period of time as close to 40 minutes as possible?
Well, I know for us, for the first 5, Coach said the first 5 minutes. So that means we have to come out with energy and just do what we need to do, get stops, score, get a good possession every time. So first 5 minutes is very important to him, and it's important to us. Definitely, I feel like that's a standard for us. We want to come out, you know, hard, and we want them like not ready for what we have to bring. But I just think that's the standard now. We want to come out there and play hard and be out tough and outwork the other team.
Yeah, so as these guys have said, the first 5 minutes, he's really put emphasis for us to stamp our authority in that time. I think for us moving forward, we need to try and extend that when we get our subs in, and you know, just with our rotation, so extend that to longer, as you said, throughout the whole quarter, first half, and the rest of the full game.
Anriel, coach talked at the luncheon a while ago just how poorly you played, I guess, in the Arkansas game, but then you came out and played so well in that first quarter against Kentucky. What was kind of your mindset going into that game, and what did you do between Thursday and Sunday to really improve and come out better?
Well, I just turned the page. I know things weren't going my way against Arkansas, but I didn't want to just soak in it. I know that Kentucky was a great matchup for us, so I knew that I had to just move on, improve what I wasn't doing well against Arkansas. So it was more of just a mental thing. So yeah.
Jazz, after the Southern Miss game, you sort of took it upon yourself to say that you wanted to play better defensively. Sunday you just had 6 steals. Was there something you saw in film against Kentucky that you could attack, or was that just the product of you between Southern Miss and Kentucky during that time, wanting to, right your wrongs defensively?
I usually beat myself up when I'm on defense just because I want to be perfect every time, but I know I'm not going to be perfect every time. During the Kentucky game, I had 6 steals. I mean, I was just there. But I mean, she was in the passing lane. She was doing what she was supposed to do. I mean, we do stuff like that every day. Get up the line, stuff like that. I mean,
was it one of those games where you wanted to come out and be aggressive defensively? And do you think that you can do that against any opponent?
I want to be able to do that against any opponent, but I don't want to put my other teammates in jeopardy to get them in foul trouble. So, I mean, I want to have pressure, but not too much.
Got time for about 2 more.
That question that I posted your players to you, what do you think that the team needs to do to sustain that such effective play in those 3 games? I know there were more, but just off the top of my head, those were probably the ones that stand out. What do you think they have to do to sustain that?
I think it's hard any time in any sport to have continuity through substitution. That's the challenge in coaching, no matter what sport it is to have continuity through substitution. You watch in Major League Baseball, sometimes they'll go out there and get somebody after 2 pitches. They ain't happy with the way they're throwing. And so I think you just, for us, it's improving those kids coming off the bench. But I also think it's a mindset. Those kids got to know, hey, you either come in and fix what's broke, or if nothing's broke, you keep it going. and do what you do. If Chloe hadn't turned it over, well, don't come in and try to do something you're not supposed to do or capable of doing, and then you end up turning it over. No, play within yourself, do your job. That's what makes a great team. Everybody's got a job to do. It's when you try to step outside of yourself and do things you're not capable of doing. That's what gets you in trouble. And so I think that's the biggest thing with everybody. Everybody thinks they got to impress the coach by scoring. You don't impress me that way. You impress me by coming in, being a tough defensive kid and getting a rebound and not turning the ball over. That impresses me. We'll worry about the other stuff, but if I need to give somebody a blow in that front five, don't come in and turn the ball over. Don't come in and be a Jack and Judy. Come in and defense, rebounding, be a toughness kid. That's what'll help us play you more. I need to play kids more. I need to play my bench more. And so that's the challenge though with young kids. Coming in, that's the piece that freshmen have to learn. And it's no different. It's no different across the street and down the hall and any freshman. That's just their mentality because that's the way it's always been in high school.
We'll go to the very back.
Anriel, your one-on-one moves down low post. How long does it take you to size up a player, know how to beat them left, right, off the dribble, the scoop shots? How long does it take you to figure out this is how I beat this defender?
I definitely look at the matchups. I know when we're doing dribble drive and if they're switching, I have a smaller defender on me, then I will try to take advantage of that. But in the post, if I have a taller defender on me, I like to use a lot of counter moves. Or if they took off the left side, I'll try to go to the right side. It's just reading the defense, really. I like to use counter moves, so yeah.
Anything else, guys?
All right, thank y'all.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, ladies.